Some African women have gone out of their way to create a legacy that would outlive them and climbed up the ladder to become some of the richest women from the continent. So sit back and enjoy as we show you the lives of the 15 richest women in Africa. 15. Nikki Laoye. Oyenike Laoye, also known as Nikki Laoye, is a singer, actress, humanitarian, songwriter, and dancer renowned for her stage performances. She was born on December 19, 1980 in Lagos, Nigeria, to a royal family. Her father is of Dutch, Ghanaian, and Nigerian ancestry, making her mixed, which also exposed her to different genres of music that would later influence her music style. When Nikki turned 5, she enrolled in dancing classes and her church's choir, which helped her focus on her talents early on in life. The musical gene runs in her family, as one of her brothers, known as X-Blaze, is currently a producer. So it wasn't surprising when Nikki decided to pursue a career in music. In 1998, she was introduced to contemporary gospel music by her friend who served in the choir with her. While in the University of Ibadan in 2000, two women, Debola Kester and Aboyowa Tene, who would become part of her success story, as they were all blessed with the musical gift. They started a gospel band called Soul Sisters. They were the only female a cappella group in their university, and many people attested to their songs, sounding like it was made for the soul. The group broke up in 2005 when they graduated, and Nikki started her solo career in 2006. Her first single, Never Felt This Way Before, became one of the Christian contemporary songs to go mainstream in Nigeria, and from there, her career kicked off. In 2010, she launched her NGO called Angel 4 Life Foundation, which was aimed at helping physically challenged youth harness their talents. Around that same year, she became an ambassador for Ice Watch, and it has been up from there. Through her endorsements and discography, Nikki Laoye is currently worth $450,000. But she is the least richest African woman in this video, as the next woman is worth double this amount and is also an incredible vocalist. 14. Nneka. The story of this woman is one of resilience and hard work, risking her life for something better, and everything eventually paid off. Nneka was born on December 24, 1980 in Warri, Nigeria, to a German mother and Nigerian father. When she was 2 years old, her mother abandoned the family, and her father remarried. The remarriage was one of the worst things to happen to young Nneka, because her stepmother soon started making life intolerable for her and her older siblings. In 1999, Nneka decided to take her life into her hands and ran off to Hamburg, Germany, her mother's home city. She didn't go there to live with her mother, she was just in search of a better life, but that didn't come early. Nneka first lived in a home for asylum seekers that was close to the airport after entering Germany. She then moved into a communal housing for youths and started learning how to speak German. She nailed the language and finished her high school education in a year and a half. After high school, she went on to study anthropology and African studies at Hamburg University, but it wasn't easy for her to pay her fees. So in order to keep her admission and get through school, she started performing in the underground dancehall scene to raise funds. Nneka pulled through school and gained public attention when she opened for Sean Paul at Hamburg Stadtpark in 2004. She released her debut album in 2005 called Victim of Truth, and while the album didn't chart, it was described as criminally underrated. Nneka gained more respect in 2008 when she released No Longer at Ease, an album that was political, highlighting the problems in her home country, Nigeria. The lead record off the album has since been sampled by multiple artists, including Rita Ora in her hit single R.I.P. In 2012, Nneka co-founded the Rope Foundation, which was aimed at helping young people express their creativity through art. She also serves as the art ambassador for the African Women Development Fund in Ghana. Through her music and work in the entertainment industry, she is currently worth $1.5 million. While Nneka's story is motivating, the next woman did not suffer as much but stayed true to her craft till it paid off. 13. Omowumi. We are talking about Omowumi, who was born on April 13, 1982 to a middle-class family in Nigeria. She is a graduate of law from Ambrose Alley University in Edo State, Nigeria, and served in her family's law firm in Port Harcourt, Nigeria. But her joy wasn't in law, so in 2007 she competed in Nigerian Idol, a musical talent show. By the end of the show, she was voted as the first runner-up, but didn't allow that to stop her. Many may even argue that she is more popular than the winner of the 2007 competition, but that is a conversation for another day. Omowumi released her debut single, called In the Music, in 2008, and her debut album, Wonder Woman, in 2009. She is a versatile artist with experience in Afrofusion, jazz and R&B, and a knack for storytelling. In 2009, she made her acting debut in a stage play called V Monologues that highlighted the plight and struggle of women in Nigerian society. In 2010, she made her screen debut and has since appeared in multiple films across Nollywood and Hollywood. Omowumi is an ambassador telecom company, Globacom, e-commerce platform, Conga and beverage, Malta Guinness. Through her music and endorsements, she is currently worth $2 million. The next woman we're looking at is also a Nigerian singer who has proven that you can go against the norm and still be successful. 12. Tems. Allow us to introduce you to Tems. Born on June 11, 1995 in Lagos, Nigeria, Tems and her family moved to the UK when she was an infant. She moved back to Nigeria with her mother at the age of 5 because of her parents' divorce. When she was in secondary school, her classmates bullied her because of her voice until her music teacher discovered her and encouraged her to keep singing. She started practicing with her brother, who played the guitar while she sang. Tems went on to attend Monash University in South Africa, where she studied economics and worked as a digital marketer, but she didn't find any fulfillment in the job. She quit her job in 2018 to pursue music. Tems revealed that she struggled to find people who wanted to work with her because of her music style, so she started learning music production in 2018. In July of that year, she released her first single, Mr. Rebel, and it gained radio airplay. The song got her into the alternative music scene in Nigeria, and she is credited as one of the pioneers of Alte music in Nigeria. She went on to release Try Me in 2019, which became an instant hit. Following that same momentum, she released her debut EP, Four Broken Ears, in 2020, and Damages Off the Work became another hit. Since then, she has worked with artists like Beyoncé, Rihanna, Justin Bieber, and Drake, creating her unique sound. In 2024, she released her debut album called Born in the Wild and started a worldwide tour which grossed over $1.3 million in just the first leg of the tour. Tems received the highest nomination for an African act at the 67th Annual Grammy Awards, with 3 nominations for Best Global Music Album for Born in the Wild, Best R&B Song for Burning Off the Same Album, and Best African Music Performance with Love Me JJ. Tems currently endorses Tommy Hilfiger, Coca-Cola, Burberry, and is worth $2 million. It appears that many of the women in this video are entertainers because the next woman is worth double of Tems and is one of the best vocalists in Africa. 11. Tiwa Savage. Let's talk about Tiwa Savage. Born on February 5, 1980, Tiwa Savage gained prominence in the Nigerian music industry at a time when women were not rated in the scene. She was born in Lagos, Nigeria, and relocated to London with her family when she turned 11. She got a degree in accounting from the University of Kent and worked at the Royal Bank of Scotland after she graduated. When Tiwa turned 16, she got into music and did backup vocals for George Michael. She also lent her voice to the likes of Mary J. Blige, Kelly Clarkson, Andrea Bocelli, and Emma Bunton. With her musical gift, she registered at Berklee College of Music in 2007 and said that the passion of the younger students at the school motivated her to keep pushing. She enrolled at the X Factor in 2006, and while she made it to the final 24, she was the 12th person to be evicted. The major issue she had was dealing with the limelight during her performances because she felt like everybody was watching her. In 2009, she signed a deal with Sony ATV and was given the opportunity to write for Fantasia and Monica. Her collaboration with Fantasia on Collard Greens and Cornbread earned Fantasia a Grammy nomination in 2010. She also performed background vocals on Whitney Houston's I Look to You album. Her career was doing well in the UK, but when she saw how much progress was being made in the Nigerian music scene, she went back to Nigeria and signed under Maven Records. In 2013, she released her debut album called Once Upon a Time and soon became a household name in Nigeria and beyond. Since the release of her debut album, Tiwa Savage has been working to bring up other musicians through her record label, 323. She has endorsed brands like MTN, a telecommunication company, Forte Oil, and Pepsi. Tiwa Savage is currently worth $5 million, and although she has explored acting, she has not quite made a name for herself as much as this next woman on the list. 10. Lupita Nyong'o. The actress we are talking of is Lupita Nyong'o. She was born on March 1, 1983 in Mexico City to Kenyan parents. Her parents had fled Kenya because of political repression and unrest, but they returned back to Kenya when she was less than a year old. Her father was appointed as a professor at the University of Nairobi, so she spent most of her childhood there. Lupita didn't grow up poor, but she didn't grow up rich either. She was from a middle-class family, and while she couldn't get everything she asked for, her parents gave her access to art. Since she was born into an artistic family, her family gatherings typically included performances and trips to see stage plays. In school, she acted in plays, and by the time she turned 14, she made her professional acting debut as Juliet in William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet in a production by the Nairobi-based repertory company Phoenix Players. She continued to pursue acting, being inspired by Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah Winfrey in The Color Purple. When Lupita turned 16, she was sent to Mexico to study Spanish and went to the US to attend Hampshire College to get a degree in film and theater studies. She has since gone on to star in award-winning movies like Queen of Katwe, 12 Years a Slave, Star Wars, and Black Panther. Lupita Nyong'o has won Emmy Awards and is Chanel and De Beers' first global ambassador. She is currently worth $8 million. Now, let's move a little away from entertainment and look at women killing it in other fields. This next woman is also of Kenyan descent and is worth over $50 million and is a visionary in her field. 9. Jane Michuki. We're referring to Jane Michuki. Jane Michuki was born in Kenya to a humble family, and while they didn't have much, they gave her an education. She studied law at the University of Nairobi and secured a postgraduate diploma in legal practice at the Kenya School of Law. She traveled to the UK to get a master's in law at the University of Warwick before returning to Kenya to show off her knowledge. Jane Michuki co-founded a law firm called Kimani and Michuki, which has grown to become one of the biggest law firms in Kenya, with one of their clientele being Equity Group's holding. Asides her law firm, she has shown her strong business acumen by being the largest female stockholder in the Nairobi Stock Exchange. She also has significant holding in blue-chip companies like the British American Investment Company and is worth $50 million. Jane has shown she is a true visionary. And just like the next woman in this video, she moved out of her barriers and set records. 8. Leah Kebede. This next woman is a top fashion model who has appeared on the cover of Vogue 20 times. She is none other than Leah Kebede. The Ethiopian model was born on March 1, 1978. She was a student at Lycée Guebre Mariam, where she was studying French when a film director spotted her. He introduced her to a French modeling agency, and when she graduated from the university, she moved to France to pursue a modeling career with a Parisian agency. Leah Kebede got her big break in 2002 when Tom Ford asked her for an exclusive contract for his Gucci Fall/Winter 2000 fashion show. 2 years later, she graced the cover of Vogue, and the entire May 2022 issue was dedicated to her. Since then, she has appeared in other Vogue magazines, including their Italian, Japanese, and American versions. Leah has walked for Yves Saint Laurent, Tommy Hilfiger, Revlon, and Louis Vuitton. With many more ad campaigns under her sleeve, the model is worth $18 million. The next woman in this video wasn't a model who was lucky to be scouted. Instead, she had no connections and climbed up the wealth ladder. 7. Jerry Ryong. Meet Jerry Ryong, one of Kenya's most revered entrepreneurs. She started out as a flavored milk seller, with her market being high schoolers, to building East Africa's first ISP, Wanachi. When asked about her inspiration behind the tech company, she said she wanted the people around her to be more connected to the internet. The company was so successful that it made over $60 million in its inception days. Going off the success of Wanachi, and Jerry founded Ignite Consulting Business Lounge, which is one of Kenya's leading startup incubators. Ignite Lifestyle, which is a healthcare consultancy, and Insight, one of Kenya's most successful digital marketing outfits. Jerry Ryong died on the 4th of October 2023, but she was worth $100 million. While her soul rests in peace, she paved the way for more female tech visionaries to be recognized in the limelight, and the next woman we are celebrating is a beneficiary of her hard work and the tech founders before her. 6. Irene Charnley. We are talking about Irene Charnley. She was born in 1960 in South Africa and is one of the country's richest businesswomen. She got into business through her work as a negotiator at the National Union of Mine Workers in South Africa and held that position for 13 years. She moved from union work to the telecom sector and became a director of MTN Group, the largest telecom corporation in Africa. With her negotiation skills, she connected multiple African and Arab countries to MTN, further increasing the company's revenue. Irene's duties transcended making money for the company, as she was also tasked with making the company public so that underprivileged African residents could buy shares to increase their wealth. From MTN, she moved to become the CEO of Smile Telecom Holdings Limited, which operates in multiple African countries. With her business acumen, she is now worth $150 million. The next woman is also a businesswoman who has proven that women in any field through hard work and dedication. 5. Wendy Applebaum. Meet Wendy Applebaum, the richest woman in South Africa today. She was born to Donald Gordon, the owner of De Morganzon Wine Estate. Many people believe she had an advantage in life, which contributed to her success. The statement is only partially true because while she learned a lot about business from her father, being a woman in the 1970s didn't afford her many opportunities. In fact, there was no expectation of her, but she chose to move out of the stereotypes and get something doing. Wendy worked as a director of Liberty Investors Limited and was once the deputy chair of Connection Group Holdings Limited. She worked in multiple industries and expanded her CV in the finance and business industry before going on to become a philanthropist. She is currently worth $259.3 million. Wendy's life did not highlight suffering for her to reach her current position, and so is the life of the next woman who is worth double Wendy Applebaum. 4. Hajia Bola Shagaya. This woman is Hajia Bola Shagaya, a fashionista and businesswoman through and through. She was born in Nigeria to a middle-class family, with her mother being a seamstress and her father a public servant in Nigeria. Despite their humble background, they were able to sponsor her to get a degree in economics from Armstrong College in the United States. After graduating, she worked at the Central Bank of Nigeria as an auditor before going into commercial sales, doing import and export. She introduced Konica, a brand of photography products, to the Nigerian market. Bola went on to become a board member of Unity Bank and has a membership status in the Order of Niger. Her current business focuses on real estate, and she is worth $630 million. And now, we are moving away from the millions and entering the billions gang. 3. Nina Kenyatta. The first woman on the billions list is Nina Kenyatta. Fondly called Mama of Kenya, Nina was the First Lady of Kenya and has since remained in the country. She was born in 1933 and was Jomo Kenyatta, the first president of Kenya's fourth wife. After her time as First Lady, she expanded her investments and holdings into businesses. She is now a proud owner of plantations, hotels, ranches, and other properties. Through her real estate investments, Yes, Gina Kenyatta is worth $1 billion and is one of the richest women in Kenya, but she is still not the richest woman in Africa and definitely not as rich as the next woman on this list. 2. Folorunsho Alakija. Let us go back to Nigeria to look at the woman who is worth a little over Gina Kenyatta. Meet Folorunsho Alakija, the richest woman in Africa. Born in Lagos State, she started working in the corporate world as a secretary in 1975. She then went on to work at the First National Bank of Chicago before transitioning from the financial industry to the fashion world with her tailoring company, Supreme Stitches. From there, Folorunsho Alakija moved to the oil industry but didn't close down her fashion business. The business mogul started a joint venture with oil company Texaco, which helped her obtain a license for oil exploration. She is the current executive chairwoman of FAMFA Oil and is worth $1.5 billion. While she is the richest woman, she wasn't the first to reach billionaire status. 1. Isabella dos Santos. The last woman we are looking at is Isabella dos Santos, who was the first woman in Africa to reach billionaire status. Born on 20th April 1973, Isabel is one of Africa's most famous and well-known entrepreneurs. She was born in Angola and schooled at King's College. Her father was the president of Angola at some point, but she didn't allow that to stop her from having plans for her life. After graduating, Isabel started to buy and invest in companies in Angola and held management positions in them. These companies range from technology to environmental work. Through her investments, she is currently worth $2.8 billion. These women have worked hard and keep inspiring people with their work ethics. Of all these women, who is your favorite? Which story inspired you the most? Let us know your thoughts. Like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring news.